what we're going to talk about next is like everything that's happening right now in California. And I just want to preface this by saying, like, we're going to keep the conversation very, like, not vague, but like talk more about the impact right now in terms of like the lives and like people who are affected, than the fact that like this is how much it's contained and this is how far it's spreading and stuff like that. Because if you know, when it comes to wildfires, things change very, very quickly. And if you are interested in the story and stuff like that, I recommend that you go look at the news sites and everything that is in those locations who are giving like factual updates minute by minute, where we're just going to keep the conversation kind of like blanketed and vague. So, like we said, in California, there's wildfires and it is spreading. Like spreading in numbers that I've never even seen before. I think Shayla, you were saying to me yesterday, they said like this is like the most costly like
renovation. It's gonna be the most expensive like renovation or reconstruction after a wildfire ever in California.
Yeah.
Like billions.
Yeah. And it's like, as like, let me show y'all a little bit of the photos. So this is like just some of the photos that have come out. Like you see how red, how orange, how yellow it is. Like everything is basically gone. And I've been seeing a lot of like, you know, people sharing their stories, and we've seen a lot of celebrities talk about like their childhood homes, or like their homes have like just been engulfed by fire. And like when I do see that on social media, you see people in the comments like, oh, I don't feel bad for you. Like you got money, you're this, you're that. And granted, I'm not going to sit there and say I'm the most sympathetic person when it comes to rich people, because I'm really not. But when it comes to things like this isn't just like rich and poor affected. This is literally everyone is being affected, basically. So it's like, regardless of the money, regardless of the stuff, like this is somebody's property literally engulfed and just taken away from them unexpectedly. Like this isn't something that everybody was like, oh, we knew this was happening. And nobody, like, this wasn't like a Hurricane 7 storm and they've been saying evacuate or else something could happen to your homes. Literally, you're chilling on like a Wednesday and everything just, it's like, what?
But talk a little bit about, like, I remember your old house, not this one, but like when you know, obviously it's not to the same level, but I feel like in a sense you understand what it is to go through like a damage, right? Like when your house would get flooded. Rebecca sent me a photo once, literally boats outside her house, and I'm like, so talk about how
like,
it felt for you during that, right? Because your stuff, a lot of it was damaged, and you had to once again like reconstruct or start from the bottom on a house that you probably like just finished up fixing, and then another event like this happened.
Yeah. So like I would say, like, for me, right? I grew up in a flood zone. Like when we moved to that house, I think I was like in first grade or whatever like that, and we literally left that house 2 years after I graduated college. So like that literally has been my childhood home. And like I would say living there for like 16, whatever, 17 plus years, we dealt, like, I want to say with like about 7 or 8 floods, which is ridiculous. But like, yeah, like you said, it's always like every time it rains, you kind of have to hold your breath, where you're like, is this gonna be like a bad storm where like we're affected and stuff like that? And the thing that happened with us is like we lived right at the corner that was right next to the stream. So like we were always the first house hit. So it's just like to the point where it's like you gotta get rid of your stuff. And it's like after a while, this sounds terrible. Like you don't even get mad no more. You just be like, whatever, right? But like that's what I'm saying. Like with a flood and stuff is different. With a fire, it's like, yes, there's damage, and yes, I can get rid of stuff, but the house is still standing. With
That's true.
these fires, literally, these houses are gone. Like, hold on.
And the craziest part of all is like, not only like it's not a house or two, it's a whole town. Like grocery stores gone, malls gone, high schools gone, elementary schools, all schools like just gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, not only did you just lose your house, you lost your whole community essentially. Like obviously what matters is, you know, those like your family, your loved ones, your animals. Like if you have your life, like your physical body, and you're healthy, like you can continue to live on, but you have nothing to go back to. Like it's not like, oh well, it was just my house and I can stay at a hotel. It's a whole town wiped out. And that I feel like that is trauma that is going to take a long, 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 long time to recover from. And like Rebecca said, yes, there are those celebrities that, they'll probably be able to rebuild way faster than those that do come from low or middle income that
Mhm.
worked probably so hard to get their houses. Like
Right.
imagine people that are in like, their 40s, 50s, 60, and this is like, oh, I worked so hard, I'm already retired, and this is like my forever home. And something like this happens, you're literally all you have is what you have on your back. Like that is so scary to me. And I think it also shows how like sometimes we put value on stuff that does not matter. I know in the last episode we talk about like buying expensive bags and belts and this. Like when stuff like this happens,
You not
all of
thinking
that, the
about that.
jewelry,
Exactly.
none of that matters. The same way that like my mom also says this like all the time. It's like when we all die, like we're all gonna turn into bones. It don't matter if you were like the highest of highest, A-list celebrity Z. At the end of the day, we're all going the same place. Your body is going to turn into bones just like mine. So I think, it's so sad, especially us. We're over here in Jersey. We're like at the other side of the world. But when we did have like a small compared to what's happening over there type of wildfires, the smell, oh my god, like just seeing like the sky being so like cloudy and black, like it was scary. So I can only imagine these people, like it literally looks like a scene from a movie. I'm like, this cannot be real. And the thing that is even more sad is you have leaders that are coming into office that think that none of this has to do with climate change. They think climate change is not real and that it's just people like I don't know what they think it is, but clearly something is happening that these extreme weather events are happening. Like it's snowing in Atlanta right now today.
It's snowing in Texas too, girl.
So I'm just like it's so sad. And again, like I do, prayers out to them because this rebuild, not only like a physical like building a house, but that trauma is probably gonna be, you're gonna have to need help for that. Cause
And then
imagine seeing that.
like we mentioned earlier, like I said, like I've always dealt with floods and stuff like that. So it's like whenever like it does get into dry season again, it's like you're gonna think in the back of your mind, like, is this gonna happen again? You
Mhm.
know? And it's just like Shayla mentioned, like our hearts go out to the people who literally lost their homes, like rich or poor. Like you're able to live and rebuild. It sucks and it's terrible. And I know
Mhm.
like I just know the feelings that you guys could be going through, but like be grateful that you're still living. I really my heart goes out to y'all for real.
Yeah, yeah. And I hope they're able to get it under control. The winds have been insane. I've never seen these types of winds ever. Like you can hear it. I live in an attic, so I'm like, I don't know if it's because I'm an
Oh, you talking
attic.
about Jersey. I was like, in Cali?
No, we're also in Cali too. That's what has, made it so hard to get these fires under control because they also have these strong winds. So when you have the strong wind and these fires, it's just
Yeah,
like, like it helps speed it up or like
yeah,
drag to other homes and stuff. So it's just
yeah,
so sad.
yeah. Yeah, our hearts go out to y'all.